And that's really what resonated with me throughout my life is how kind she was to this kid, and how she could possibly function like that and be disrespected time and time again by my dad and his mistress. And the crazy part was that, I remember my mistress going through my dad's pant pockets when he was in the bathroom, and pull out his credit cards, and she would steal his money. We used to own a restaurant back in the day, and he'd have a briefcase full of cash, and she'd be all up in that thing stealing his money. And so I didn't realize and understand why my dad would be with this woman. Um, Maybe she fulfilled some part of him that my mom couldn't fulfill, because my mom came from a very affluent family in Vietnam. My grandfather was a three-star general, and so she lived a very good life. And so when she met my dad, though, he pampered her and took care of her, and she was so used to relying on him. And so she never really broke free, and she felt like there was some sort of like a mental cage for her, because she was afraid that she couldn't do it on her own if she left him. And so, with this new mistress, how my dad framed it was that, the mistress is second in line, right? So in Asian culture, the mistress is almost like the slave for the rest of the family. And if you're the oldest wife or you're the first wife, the mistress's job is to like pamper the first wife and take care of everyone, which is all bullshit. So this dynamic lasted for many years, and the sad part was that, my mom would allow me and my dad, like my dad would take me to Oklahoma City, where this mistress ended up moving to, and we would visit her, and it was just me and him, and I would watch him, do things with her on the couch as a little kid, and I was like, okay, so, and we're hanging out at the fair and doing all this crazy stuff, and somehow he was able to manipulate my mom enough to talk her into letting us do this. And to this day, man, I'm telling you, I grew up so messed up. My family was so dysfunctional. My dad was a raging alcoholic. My mom was just mentally, physically, emotionally abused for years. And, right now, my mom's not all okay. Everything's fine with her, and she'll say yes to everything, but deep down, I know that she's got a voice. But she has no way of communicating her voice now, because she's oppressed it for so long. So there's a lot of long-term damage done here. I grew up with tons of anxiety, that I didn't know where it came from, but now through these videos, I've been able to kind of hash it out. And my dad's still a raging alcoholic. He almost died from liver cirrhosis. And funny enough is that when I got that phone call telling me that he would be dead in a week or two if he didn't stop drinking, I arranged for his funeral, and I took care of all the stuff with no harm, no foul. And so, that's how a dysfunctional family can leave you.